started. And seated, finding your way towards your seat. Take a moment to check in with your posture. And maybe you look side to side. Maybe you just notice what the room is like that you're in right now. Taking a few moments to take it in, to orient yourself to your space. And once you've taken in this space, again, just tuning into your posture, tuning into your body. So feeling your feet pressing into the ground, feeling your sit bones rooting down into the chair, and allowing your feet, your low body to feel nice and heavy and rooted. Again, rooting down through feet, rooting down through sit bones. And as you root down through these places, starting to rise up through your spine, lifting up through the torso, lengthening up, growing tall, as if you could create a little bit more space in between each of your vertebrae. Lifting crown of the head up towards the sky. And you might notice your shoulders want to creep up by your ears as you grow taller. You might inhale and exaggerate, bringing the shoulders up, and with your exhale, relaxing shoulders down and away from the ears, repeating that a couple of times, inhaling up. Exhaling shoulders down and back. Inhaling up. Exhale, shoulders down and back. And one more time, inhaling the shoulders up, squeezing, holding up at the top. Feeling that tension. And then exhaling, relaxing shoulders down and back. And if it feels good to bring a little bit of a massage to the neck, to the shoulders, you can gently bring your hands there. And then releasing hands into your lap. Now we're going to start with our cat and cow in the chair. My chair is a little bit creaky today. So I'm going to scoot a little bit forward onto my chair. My hands are coming onto the tops of my thighs. And my inhale draws my belly and my chest forward. My shoulders drop back. And my exhale begins to round the spine. My chin comes to chest. Inhaling, belly, chest forward, shoulders back. Exhale, rounding, chin to chest. So moving at your pace in between these two poses. And really thinking about linking movement with breath. So the start of your inhale draws the belly and the chest forward and the shoulders and the elbows back. The start of your exhale rounds the spine, tucks the tailbone, tucks the chin. You can play around with closing your eyes as you do this, if that feels comfortable. And you're also welcome to keep your eyes open if that feels more comfortable for you. And you might take a moment to just tune into all the different areas of your spine where you can feel this movement, noticing your pelvis and your hips sort of tucking and tilting with your movement, noticing your belly and your low back rounding and arching. Noticing the orientation of your rib cage, of your chest, your shoulders and shoulder blades, and your neck and your head. And we're going to add in our arms. The inhale draws the arms out towards the side. My elbows are drawing back. My chest is drawing forward, big opening across the front body. And then with my exhale, I'm rounding, grabbing opposite arm, grabbing opposite shoulder as my chin comes towards my chest. And each time we're going to alternate which arm comes in first. Same here, same thing here, moving whole spine and moving with our breath, allowing the breath to guide the movement. All right, and same thing with your next inhale, elbows draw back. Actually, we're going to bring our hands to our sides. So we're going to sweep the hands to the side bodies, and our elbows are drawing back, our shoulders drawing back. We have a slight arch in our chest and our belly and our spine. And then with the exhale, we interlace fingers together and exhale, reaching the arms out in front. So stretching the upper back. Inhale, opening across the chest. Exhale, extending, reaching forward. Move in at the pace of your breath. And this time we're going to see if we can alternate which way our thumbs and our fingers come together every time we come forward. All right, and coming back up to a neutral spine, hands come under the tops of the thighs. And we're going to bring our knees a little bit wider stance. And I like to scoot a little bit forward onto my chair. We're going to make big circles with the rib cage, with the torso coming into a little bit of a side stretch. And thinking about how we're making a similar shape to our cat and cow. So our belly and chest draw forward towards the front and our shoulders draw back. We find that rounding towards the back of the spine as we come towards the top of these circles. And then go ahead and switch the direction of the circles, going the other way if you haven't yet. Right, and coming back up to the center. We're going to come into our side bodies. So we're rooting down through both hips as we lean side to side, lifting up the shoulder. You might start just with these shoulder raises, lengthening side body. As I lean over towards the left, I'm rooting down with my right hip. As I lean over towards the right, I'm rooting down with my left hip. So both hips stay rooted as you're here. If you want a little bit more in the arms and shoulders, you can start to extend your arm overhead, depending on your flexibility and your mobility in your shoulders and just what feels good to you today. So you can start adding in the arm. I like to root down with my opposite hand as I reach with my opposite arm and lean. You might want to move with your breath. So maybe you inhale as you come up towards the center and exhale as you lean over towards the side. And just continuing moving with your breath. All right. And coming back to center. We're going to come into our shoulders, just starting with a couple little shoulder rolls backwards. And then we're going to add in the elbows, making them a little bit bigger. Hands coming back down by your sides. We'll do these shoulder rolls forward, starting with the small rolls. And then making them a little bit bigger. Adding in the elbows. All right. Then we're going to bring our arms out in front of us. Arms extended, reaching forward as far forward as you can reach. And we're going to do a little dance with our hands, bringing one hand over the other at a time. And then drawing both arms back as far as is comfortable, feeling your shoulder blades coming together on the back, squeezing at the back. And then we'll do it all over again, over. And should start to feel shoulders and upper back really starting to warm up here. Doing a couple more reps if you feel up for it. And then go ahead and relax, arms down by your sides. And just roll out the head, the neck, the shoulders, however feels good after that. Also, if it feels good to bring a gentle massage to the place we just worked, go right ahead. You can massage that area, neck and shoulders, upper back. Great. And then we'll just relax, hands down. We're going to stretch out the front body as well. So a couple different options here. Depending on your flexibility with your back and your shoulders, you might bring your hands to the low back, drawing shoulders back and elbows back and lifting up your chest. Gently opening up through the chest here. That's option number one. Option number two, you might bring your hands back behind you onto the chair. Same thing, drawing your elbows back, shoulders back, chest gently lifts up. And option number three, if you have the room, the flexibility, bringing your fingers together back behind you, fingers clasped, hands clasped, drawing your arms back, lifting chest, lifting shoulders, or shoulders drawing back, chest lifting up. So lots of different options. You can try one of those. You can try all of them. And welcome on, Denise and Kathleen. All right. And releasing that, if you're still there, we're going to come into a little bit more with our shoulder. So bringing our hands on tops of the thighs again. And again, for this one, I like to have a little bit wider stance with the legs. So knees wider than hips width distance apart. Hands are going to come on tops of the thighs. And I'm rotating my body as I dip my shoulder down. So we're dipping the shoulder one at a time, coming into a dynamic twist. And so my shoulder is rotating in while my elbow sort of rotates out. And you can kind of feel into how much of a rotation in the shoulder feels good. All right, coming back up to the center. Got one more shoulder rotation. We're going to bring our arms out towards the sides in a T. Our hands are going to be in fists. And similar to what we just did, we're going to rotate the shoulder forward and back. So my whole arm is rotating like I'm twisting a doorknob or a light bulb. And that rotation is moving all the way up towards my shoulder. So rotating shoulder forward and back. And then I'm going to do my opposite side, forward and back. So moving at your pace. And with this one too, there will be a little bit of a rotation in the torso as you turn from side to side. And again, with this one, you'll start to feel that activation, that warmth, that heat starting to build in the shoulders. We'll do just a couple more. And then releasing, arms down by your sides. And just rolling out the shoulders as feels good after that. And we'll come into a little bit of a stretch. So inhale, arm is going to come out towards the side, a little bit back behind you. Exhale, sweeping the arm across your body, hugging it in towards you. If you want a little bit more of a twist, you might turn your head over the shoulder that you're stretching. And then we're going to repeat on the other side. Opposite arm comes out towards the side, a little bit back. Exhale, sweeping it across the body, hugging it in towards you. And again, if you want that twist, you might look over the shoulder. Coming back to center and releasing the shoulders, just taking any more movement with the shoulders to reset after that. And we're going to come into our neck, interlacing fingers together, and then bringing hands behind the head. So my hands are facing forward, palms facing forward, and my hands are just at the base of my skull, so just above the neck. And my hands are pulling forward while my head pulls back. So I'm providing a little bit of resistance in between my head and my hands pulling forward, head pulling back, activating my neck. Should feel a nice release in the neck right here. And you can stay right here, or you might play around with starting to move your head side to side, again, maintaining that gentle pressure with the hands and gentle pressure with the head. And then releasing, arms down by the sides. And we'll come a little bit more into the neck, relaxing shoulders away from the ears. We're going to turn head side to side. Like you're looking over your shoulder. Back to center, we're gonna bring chin up and down. Next time chin comes down towards your chest, gently bring chin side to side. And same thing towards the back, bringing the back of your head back. Really slowly doing that same thing, making those half circles with the back of your head. And if it feels comfortable for you, you might go ahead and make full circles with the head. Depending on your mobility and the tightness in your neck. This might be a big circle or this might be a really small circle. So it might be a smaller movement or a bigger movement depending on what feels good. And you might do a couple of circles in one direction and a couple in the other direction. And we'll meet back in the center. And we'll get ready to use our ball. So if you weren't here before, we're going to be using a lacrosse ball. If you have a rubber ball, tennis ball also works, or a smaller sort of uh, bouncy ball, like a smaller rubber ball can work. A golf ball on the feet can work, but is definitely the most intense option. And then also, if you don't have any sort of a ball, if you have a firm water bottle or a can of vegetables, anything sort of round that you can roll back and forth with the ball, with your foot is going to work. So I'm going to demonstrate this standing up, but you're welcome to stay seated as well. And we're going to start with the ball underneath the right foot. And I'm just going to make it so you can see. So again, you're welcome to stay seated and roll the ball under your foot as you sit down. I'm going to stand. That's just my personal preference, but up to you. So bring the ball underneath your right foot to start. The ball or whatever round object you have. And we're just going to roll our foot forward and back. Go over the ball. And with this too, you can pick the pace. So I'm going a little bit fast, but you might move more slowly. And then I'm going to lift up the outside of my foot and sort of focus on this inner edge, inner arch of my foot. Then I'm going to lift up the inner arch of my foot and focus on this outer edge of my foot. All right, and then I'm going to bring the ball underneath my heel. And I'm just going to put pressure on the heel of my foot. You can kind of decide how much pressure you want to put on the foot, on the ball. I'm going to slowly move the ball forward so it's closer to my arch. And then I'm going to bring my heel onto the ground and I'm just pivoting my foot left and right over the ball. So if you have more of a cylinder object like a water bottle or a can, this particular pivoting motion might be a little harder. So you can just continue to roll if the pivoting doesn't work. All right, and then just for the next few moments, just taking the ball and doing whatever you want with it. So that might be rolling the ball under the foot, or that might be just stepping on different pressure points of the foot. Totally up to you. All right. And then setting ball aside, stepping onto both of the feet and just maybe wiggling the toes, just noticing what you feel, noticing any difference in between the feet. And maybe you feel a difference, maybe you don't, but just starting to notice. And then we're going to move on to the other side. If you're following along with me, that's the left side. So I'm bringing the ball underneath my left foot now, and I'm just starting with this forward and back movement. And I'm turning up on the outer edge of my foot to focus on this inner arch of my foot. And then I'm turning the inner part of my foot up to focus on this outer edge. And then I'm going to bring the ball underneath my heel. Again, stepping heel onto the ball. You can decide how much pressure you want to put. And I'm moving it a little bit forward, closer to my arch. And then I'm bringing my heel onto the ground and I'm just pivoting my foot left and right. And again, with the water bottle or the can of beans, this might be a little bit harder to do this pivoting motion. So do whatever feels good instead of that. All right. And then again, the next 30 seconds or so, just sort of doing your free choice on this side. Maybe that's rolling foot, maybe that's stepping onto the ball, different points of the foot. All right. And then setting your ball aside, coming onto both of the feet. And again, just feeling into your feet, noticing the way that your feet come into contact with the ground, noticing the way the ground comes up to meet your feet, noticing any changes after that practice. And we're just going to do one or two. We're going to do a couple of forward folds. So if you are seated, you can stay seated. You're going to extend both of your legs out in front of you, heels down, toes up, and come onto the front of your chair. And your knees can be a little bit bent as you just fold forward. Just pausing here. And if you are standing, you might just fold forward, maybe over your chair. Hands can come to the chair, hands can come to your thighs or your shins. And wherever you are, just noticing the hamstrings, noticing the back, and noticing your feet, noticing how your feet are playing a role in this stretch. And we'll come back up. And we'll get ready for some twists. So if you have been standing, you can go ahead and come back towards seated. And option number one for the twist is just keeping both of your feet flat on the ground. Option number two is crossing your right leg over your left. With the inhale, we're going to lengthen up through the spine, growing tall. Exhale, twisting over to the right. Maybe you grab the back of your chair with your right hand. Making little adjustments as you're here. So with your inhale, you'll lengthen and grow taller in your chair. Crown of your head reaching up towards the sky. Belly button hugging in towards your spine. With your exhales, maybe you come just a little bit more into the twist. Inhales lengthening, exhales twisting, like we're wringing out our torso. And that is kind of what we're doing in twists. Really helping with our digestion and wringing things out. Coming back to the center. When you're ready, if you had your right leg crossed over the left, you can cross left over right. With your inhale, lengthening up through your spine, and exhale, twisting over to the left this time. Maybe your left hand grabs the back of the chair or the side of the chair. And same thing here with your inhales, lengthening up, growing tall, crown of your head reaching up towards the sky. Exhales, maybe you come a little bit more into the twist. Coming back to the center. When you're ready, if you have that left leg crossed over the right, you can keep it there. If you're available to bring your ankle up onto the top of the knee, you can start to do that. So crossed, ankle over knee, or you can also bring your ankle crossed over ankle. This for just a little bit of a hip opener, opening up the hip like this. And whichever variation you choose, we're just going to come into a brief massage of the leg, low leg, and the foot. All right, and then we're going to flex this top foot. Inhale, lifting up, growing tall. And then with the exhale, folding forward over your bent leg. For this one too, I like to be a little bit forward onto the chair. And again, we're flexing this top foot and keeping that length in our spine. As we fold forward, should start to feel stretch in the outer hip, outer left hip. Inhale, coming back up, and we'll repeat on the other side. Knee over knee, ankle over knee, or ankle over ankle. And we'll start with massaging low leg. Maybe the foot, maybe the upper leg. And then again, flexing top foot, inhale, lifting, growing tall. Exhale, folding forward over your bent leg. Keeping that length in your spine. Chest drawing forward, belly drawing forward, shoulders drawing back. With your next inhale, when you're ready, coming back up. And just taking a moment to check in with your body, noticing if there's anything, any part of your body that could use a little bit more movement or stretching. So you've got plenty of time to take anything else that you need. That might be some more wiggles, that might be some more massage. Just checking in with your body, seeing what you need. And if you're ready to rest, if you're ready to be done, you can go ahead and come into your final resting pose for our Shavasana portion. And lots of different options for how you take that. That can be seated right where you are, in the chair that you're in, or on the ground. And some people like to transition to lying down. That could be on a bed or the floor or a couch, or maybe just transitioning to a different chair, more comfortable chair, recliner. And I always will recommend to have the back of your head supported if you're able to lean up against something, so you can rest your head back and really just relax through the head and the neck. That can be really nice if that sounds good to you. But yeah, just making this yours and taking a pose that feels comfortable to you. And you're welcome to take this time to grab a sip of water or grab any blankets or pillows to make this more comfortable. And wherever you are, we'll start to take a couple bigger breaths. Taking a big breath in. Exhale, letting it go. Taking another big breath in. Maybe exhaling with a sigh. Taking one more big breath in, holding the breath up at the top. Sipping in a little bit more air. And then exhale when you're ready, letting it all go. And seeing if it feels good to soften and relax into the position that you're in. Maybe using your exhales to deepen that relaxation. Using the exhales to consciously soften the body. And noticing all the places where your body is held up or supported beneath you, behind you, by the ground, by the chair, by the bed, by the couch, by the wall. Sensing into that support behind you and beneath you. Feeling into the sensation of support. And just seeing if it feels good to rest into that support, to trust that support. Maybe it feels okay to release a little bit of effort, knowing that you are supported in this way. And scanning through the body, sensing into your head and your forehead, seeing if it feels okay to relax the forehead and the head, the eyes and the eyelids, the temples and the cheeks. Relaxing jaw, neck and shoulders. Biceps and triceps. Forearms, wrists, hands. Sensing into your back body and relaxing upper, lower back. Sensing into your chest, your belly. Seeing if it feels okay to soften the belly. Pelvis, hips. Maybe relaxing through pelvic floor. glutes, thighs, and hamstrings. Fronts and backs of your knees, shins and calves. Ankles, tops and bottoms of your feet. Whole body resting, whole body relaxing. Nothing left to do here but rest. And I invite you to stay here as long as you like, if you wish. And if you're ready to start to come out now, you might start to deepen your breath. You might start to wiggle fingers, toes, and movement to your head and your neck. If you're ready to come up towards seated, you might slowly make your way there if you aren't already. If you are seated, you might start to lengthen up through your spine. And just finding a way that feels good to close for you. That might be bringing hands onto your body. That might be bringing hands together in front of your heart. And maybe you nod towards yourself, saying thank you to yourself or thank you to something or someone else. And thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You.
Good to be with you
Thank
guys.
you. Sorry, I was waiting.